The Monster Academy by Jane Jolin and Heidi Stemple. Read to you today by Gammy. Welcome to Monster Academy. What does Principal Frankenstein have to say? In you go. Hello, monsters. Come on in. When everyone's here, class will begin. Miss Mummy, so many bandages. Did you get hurt? Serpentina snakes hiss. I'm not hurt, I'm just old. I look good for my age, or so I'm told. And why do your words rhyme, asks Bob. Every mummy has a curse. Mine is that I speak in verse. But it could be worse. I could scream when I converse. But our little monsters scared of screams? No, they scream right back. I count. Yeti, Yachty, Fifi, Speck. Serpentina, Vic, Bog, wait! That's 7 when we should have 8. Is our newest monster late? Fresh! It's our new student. Here we go. You must be Tornado Joe. Zazoom! But Joe shouts, no! Say hello, the students yell. No, says Joe, spinning into Vic's lunchbox. No, says Joe, knocking over Bog's chair. No, says Joe, bumping into Speck. No, says Joe, yanking Serpentina's snakes. No, says Joe, kicking the table near Yeti and Yachty. No, says Tornado Joe, no, no, no. Joe is the worst monster ever, says Fifi. Make Tornado Joe stop. We're all monsters, Fifi dear. Joe will learn some manners here. No, 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 no. Tornado Joe spins and spins and spins until Joe lands on the floor. Now get up, Joe. It's time for math. Count your missing teeth for a monster tooth grab. Poor vampire Vic, he wiggles his big scary thing. He doesn't want to say 0. How about you, Joe? Missing teeth? Any above? Any beneath? No, says Joe. But Joe is missing a tooth. Miss Mummy writes it down. Now quick, how about you, Vic? Vic jiggles his loose fang. 0, he says. He almost cries. Add up the teeth. 12, you say. Good job. We'll go to the lab today. Yay! And what do you think little monsters build at Monster Maker's lab? Creepy castle. Everybody helps, even the class bats. Everyone but Joe. Come on, Joe. Serpentina yells, it's fun. Her snakes hiss. But Joe says, no. Now it's almost lunchtime. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Vic pulls his fang. It won't come out. Vic is so unhappy. He doesn't care when Joe grabs his blood orange and gives him a big, juicy apple. Does Joe want to be friends? Maybe. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Vic takes 3 big bites. Want some? He asks Joe. No, says Joe. Time for monster recess. Run to the swamp pool. But only Vic goes in, all alone. Help me make a swamp monster, Vic asks Joe. No, says Joe. Tornado Joe stomps and kicks swamp stink at Vic. And it splatters on everyone. You are the worst monster ever, says Fifi. And then she looks at Vic. How? Your fang is gone. Where is it, Bog asks. You need it for the tooth troll. Help me find it, cries Vic. Please. Everyone shouts, yes. But Joe says no. Speck, Bog, and the twins search high. No thing. Serpentina, Fifi, and Vic search low. No thing. Miss Mummy checks the swamp pool. No thing. Please help, Joe, says Vic. No, no, no. Tornado Joe begins to spin. And spin, and spin, and spin. Whoosh! One final spin and Joe falls over. You're a human, screams Vic. No, shouts Joe. I'm a monster. Help, Vic yells. There's a human in our class. What happens when monster children see a human? Monsters run. Hurry! Get back to the school. Lock the doors. I told you so. Joe is the worst monster ever. Back inside, Miss Mummy calms them down. Joe is a human and a monster too. She belongs in class just like each of you. How can she be both? I get it, says Vic. We're scary, but so is she. So Tornado Joe is one of us, they howl. Vic gives a big gap-fanged smile. We couldn't find my twos, Miss Mummy, but it still counts as one. I'm not a zero anymore. Everyone cheers, even Miss Mummy. She writes a big number 1 next to Vic's name. Miss Mummy, says Fifi, now we can change the total from 12 to 13. The perfect monster number. The school bell rings. Time for monsters to go home. Principal Frankenstein asks, how was the new monster today? She's the worst monster ever, the class shouts. This time, Joe smiles. Our little Joe. Let's just say Joe's starting to learn our monster way. Sometimes it's hard when you begin, but now I think she'll fit right in. Before they leave, Joe points. My tooth, Vic yells. Ernie has it. Thanks, Joe. See you tomorrow. Yes, says Joe. Yes, you will. The end. We have so much more to learn. Be blessed.